This is not a basic documentary. This is not a simple issue. It is more complex than you think. This is a subtle conflict between religious right and religious prejudice. What is a religious right? What are prejudices? Why do they matter? Why does it deserve to be documented on screen? This is why. My name is Chima Ebuzi, and I am a sophomore at Clark University. My film revolves around an organization I stumbled upon on the New York Times, the Islamic Society of Greater Worcester, also known as ISGW. It is a non-profit located in Worcester that acts as the focal point of Islamic activity for the Muslim community, near and far. The organization attempted to secure a piece of land at Dudleytown for the sole purpose of burying their dead. ISGW was qualified to apply for a special permit, but the Zoning Board of Appeals denied the organization unfairly. In this film, I hope to stay neutral and unbiased, but every edit is political.
Purpose of this center is to provide the social and the cultural and the religious needs of the community here. We have been very actively involved in providing that interfaith activities. We go to different colleges, universities, synagogues, churches to talk about Islam. The students from all different universities, from the Clark University, from the other places, all the universities come here to visit our mosque. They see our Friday congregation here, listen to the sermon, and I would say have a question and answer session. So it has been a good activity on the interfaith front. Islamic burial, there are certain requirements for the Islamic burial. One of the main requirements of the Islamic burial is that when the dead body is laid in the ground, its face should be it should be facing to the Kaaba, right, which is our holiest place where we face all the time for our prayers and other things. So even after the death, the body has to be laid in the ground facing toward Kaaba. Okay, so that requirement can be met only when we have our own graveyards, because if we go to other graveyards, the grave sites are pre-marked and we don't have the option to put our body in the required direction. But in the Dudleytown, the whole atmosphere in the very first zoning board meeting, there was a lot of people from the town, and they had their own concerns. They were not that welcoming to us. Although there are so many other cemeteries in the area, but they were having very strange conditions put on us. And they were raising different kind of questions, that the water contamination, although those questions has to be, the Board of Health has to dealt with those questions, not the zoning board. With the zoning board too, in the planning phase, we said that, okay, we will leave 100 feet of the perimeters of the graveyard, just we won't use it. So our graveyard is at least 100 feet away from the well waters. Okay, so because the people, it's natural, it is understandable, people have their wells. But I would say even the septic system, there's a requirement that it should be 90 feet. Okay, so the graveyard is not more septic than the septic system. So we are providing them 100 feet of area as a parameter. That we will not use the 100 feet of area, but still there were so many problems, and then the town refused our application, and they said that you are not the legitimate, you are not the right buyers for that. Anyway, they made an excuse and they didn't allow us the permit. So they didn't allow us the permit, and then I would say U.S. Attorney General Office and the Massachusetts Attorney General Office and we ourselves we filed into a land court that this denial was not right and doesn't have any grounds. The main thing is having the town accepting the concept of having a Muslim burial in the deadly town. There are so many cemeteries in the area. A Muslim cemetery is not anywhere different from a Jewish cemetery or a Christian cemetery. This is a non-profit organization. It runs on the donations of the people, and we don't want to spend our money into the legal fights. We just want to have simple, plain burial ground for our loved ones, and just to have a peaceful place. We have a burial ground in Enfield, Connecticut. It's not, I would say it is under the Islamic Center of Connecticut.
Okay.
Okay. But we have been using that burial ground from last 25 plus years or so. Since I have been here, we have been using that burial ground. That burial ground is more than 1.5 hours drive from this place, one way. Okay. So it is a great hardship on the Muslim families here that when their loved one is passed away, they are already in emotional stress, and then I would say it takes the whole day going there, bury the person, and come back. We are very confident that we are on the right. We are not asking any special favors from the town. It's our legal right as a U.S. citizen to find a burial place for our loved ones. Okay, it is our right, and we shouldn't be denied to have our right. And the people should, all those people having the right conscience, should stand with us and provide us their moral support, that we are not asking for anything unusual or anything extraordinary. Okay, so that is my message, that the people should use their conscience, think how genuine this case is, and they should speak out if they have to.